Hello guys, welcome back to the multimedia channel. I hope that you had a great weekend and that of course the new week is already off to a good start for you. I'm really happy, I'm excited, and all thanks to those of you who are already subscribed to the channel. I mean, it's something I do not take lightly, and I mean, whenever I come on the channel and then I see the growth, I can't really contain my happiness. So all thanks to you, and to those of you who are yet to subscribe to the channel, I don't know what you're waiting for. Please just subscribe to stay up to date with the content I share on the channel. All right, so today there are quite a number of things to talk about, of course, as it concerns the Super Eagles, as it concerns the search for a new coach. I mean, which is becoming tiring. It's one subject that I know, of course, many people do not want to be talking about again. But then the fact is that as a footballing nation, it's something we should be concerned about. You understand? It's something we should really be concerned about, and that is why many people have not really stopped talking about it, because of course we do not want to make mistakes in the appointment of a new coach for the Super Eagles. Of course, we'll talk about the players, we'll talk about Kelechi Iheanacho, whose side Leicester City is back to the EPL. Congratulations to him. Yeah, quite a number of updates. Boniface, who has almost become, I mean, he's one person that we almost talk about almost on daily basis because of how superb he is, how much of an excellent player he has become for his side, Bayern Leverkusen. And then, of course, quite a number of updates as well, in addition to those ones that I've mentioned. But then, before I get right into it, I want to talk about the Premier League. Yeah, it was a disappointing weekend for some players in the EPL, and then for some, it was a weekend they would always remember. Yeah, so I want to begin by talking about Liverpool, who I think are out of the race for the Premier League title. Yeah, that's my personal opinion. They are out of the race. I mean, in their last two games was crazy. So the first one was against Everton. They lost 2-0. I mean, that was one match we didn't really expect Liverpool to lose. Of course, given how serious they appeared to be in the race for the title. And then West Ham on Saturday ended in a draw, a disappointing draw for a Liverpool side that, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, many people were really expecting Liverpool to win that match and of course make sort of strengthen their race for the title, because many people do not want Man City to really win the Premier League for the third time consecutively. But as things stand, I think Liverpool are out of the race, because I don't think Man City or Arsenal are willing to drop points at this point. And of course, we saw that incident that happened between Mohamed Salah and then Jurgen Klopp. So as Mohamed Salah was about to be brought to be introduced into the match, I mean, he had a little bit of an argument on the touchline with his manager, but then it remains unclear what exactly the problem was. And none of them was really or is really willing to talk about it till now, so they are deciding to keep it to themselves. Of course, we know how much of a controversy that can generate if either the coach or the player goes ahead to talk about it and then it gets out in the media. Yeah, so they both decided to just shut their mouths regarding what happened. But then clearly, from all indications, things are not really moving well in the club. Of course, Jurgen Klopp will be leaving Liverpool at the end of the season. Yeah, now moving forward, Manchester United, come on. Why do you always have to serve your fans breakfast across the world? It's crazy, man. It's really crazy. So, as usual, they messed up. Um, we all thought that they were going to win that match. Of course, it was 1-0, courtesy of a goal from Anthony. I mean, come on, why would you play against Burnley and not trash them like 4-5-0? Luckily, they got a goal, and then Onana actually punched a Burnley player right in the 18-yard box. But then I blame Casemiro completely for that mistake. Why would you, seeing that a Burnley player was in the 18-yard box, the game was in the air, instead of heading it out, you're heading it back to Onana. And then, of course, you know that Onana characteristically, that is what he really does. He did the same thing against Wolves. I don't remember the week exactly. but then he got away with it luckily, and then now he has repeated the same thing. Yeah, so Burnley got a penalty, and of course, their player put it past Onana, who is bad when it comes to penalty. Like he's nothing to write home about. So it's just crazy how Man United keeps really disappointing their fans all over the world. I mean, and if they're not careful, Newcastle might just take their place in that sixth position. Something else that has really got people talking is the fact that Ten Hag, who is of course the coach of Manchester United, has said that he doesn't see the club really finishing in the top four next season. So this is one statement that has really got a lot of fans all over the world really talking and saying, okay, why would you say that kind of thing? You're in charge of this club, so you should be concerned about making the players stronger. You should be concerned about making the club competitive enough to finish in the top four. So why are you being pessimistic? Yes, but of course, some of the things he said, which I saw reasons with, is the fact that Manchester United has really suffered huge in terms of injuries. So you have the likes of Rashford, who, by the way, hasn't really been impressive, but of course he's been sidelined. He's on injury. You have the likes of Martinez. You have the likes of Luke Shaw, who has been out for several months now, and then you have the likes of Varane and the rest of them. Yeah, so I think that's to some extent contributing to the challenges the club is really experiencing. So that was like part of the reasons that Ten Hag gave for which he thinks that the club will not finish in the top four next season. And of course, he said that it might change. Of course, if we have all of these players back, and then you have some fresh legs added to the team. Yeah, but I mean, of course, we know that the management is really considering letting him go. Arsenal again continue their impressive run as they continue to pursue the Premier League title. They beat Tottenham on Sunday. That game ended 3-2. It was a very strong match. Of course, they were leading 3-0, and then their goalkeeper made a very expensive mistake, and then they got back into the game. After some minutes, they made it 2, but then luckily for Arsenal, the match ended 3-2. I mean, Arsenal has been impressive all season. So currently they are on 80 points after 35 matches, I think. While Man City comes on in the second place, but of course they have an outstanding match, so they've played 34, and then they have 79 points, right? So if they're able to win the outstanding match, it takes them to 82 points, so they become 2 points clear at the top of the table. Yeah, so I know Arsenal fans would really be praying for Man City to lose not just one but maybe 2 matches and all of that. But like I said, I don't think Man City is willing to let go of even a point at this stage this season. Arsenal is not willing to let go as well. But of course, it's the Premier League we're talking about, and most of the times what you get to see is something that is really surprising. So you can't really talk about what to expect in the Premier League. So moving on, we'll get right into what we have for today, and that is the fact that NFF appears confused. I mean, as to who to make the next coach of the Super Eagles. Till now, there's no decision yet. So all through last week, on Wednesday, they said we were going to announce the new coach. On Thursday, we had the same story. So I don't know. It's become like a daily affair, and many people are now of the opinion that they appear to be confused. They don't know who to make the new coach. Now, of course, reports suggest that more people became interested as the NFF continued to delay in the appointment. It would have made sense, and it would have saved us all this stress if a new coach had been appointed maybe a week or two, and maybe after his contract expired. And I don't think a lot of stress can really go into making that decision. So what you need to do is, if you have individuals who have indicated interest, you subject them to scrutiny, subject them to examinations, and then you make your decision. So this whole delay back and forth is not really making sense. And of course, especially considering the fact that the Super Eagles has their World Cup qualifiers just by the corner. I think June 3rd or so, they're supposed to play against South Africa. So if no decision is made before then, I don't know what would really happen. So There are reports that the president of the NFF, Ibrahim Gusso, actually met with the Minister of Sports, um, Eno, on Thursday, that's last week, with their recommendations. But then he turned them down because some reports suggest that he, of course, has his own recommendations as well. So he has asked them to go back and do more work. And from all indications, it appears as though the Minister of Sports favors a local coach, but then the NFF committee that is really handling the whole process favors a foreign coach. So that's where the problem really lies. And I do hope that they would really sort of tackle the whole problem so we can get a new coach. And then former Super Eagles coach, of course, Joseph Peseiro, has denied reports making the rounds that he was contacted by the sports minister regarding a potential return to the Super Eagles national team after his contract expired in February. Now, so moving on, Kelechi Iheanacho and Wilfred Ndidi's Leicester side are back to the Premier League. Congratulations to the guys! Congratulations to the guys! Of course, they lifted the trophy rather. I think sometime in 2015 or thereabout. I can't really remember. But then, of course, they were relegated, and now they are back to the Premier League. So we expect the two of them to really perform well. No, but except that, according to reports, Iheanacho's contract expires at the end of this season, and there are indications that his club are not likely to renew the contract. So whatever happens, I wish them well. Of course, we saw pictures, videos of the players really celebrating their return to the Premier League. Everybody, every club in the Championship side wants to play in the Premier League. But of course, you know that it's not easy. So you have to really play well to be able to be promoted to the Premier League. And then when you come, is another tug of war because you get to 38 matches and then you're expected to do really well if you want to remain in the Premier League. So it's not really a league for kids. Now, so moving on, the president of the Confederation of African Football, Patrick Motsepe, has spoken out about the financial success that, of course, the body recorded during the tournament in Ivory Coast. Now, he's come out to say that there was a 26% surge in commercial revenue compared to the 2021 AFCON in Cameroon. So he said that the body made a total of $80 million in profit. That is massive. Of course, the Super Eagles contributed to it in one way or the other. Ticket fees, you had people flying from Nigeria to go and watch the match and all of that. Yeah, so he has really expressed satisfaction with the outcome of the tournament and all of that. So moving on, Victor Boniface has spoken out about how Xabi Alonso always helps him and other players to really improve their game. Now, there's something he said. He said that the coach always performed better during trainings, and that always helps to motivate them. I mean, if you know Xabi Alonso, you recall his days in Liverpool and how much of a midfielder he always sharing passes, long range passes, and all of that. So, Victor Boniface says that the coach has really been impressive when it comes to coaching the players and making them become better in their play and all of that. Yeah, so he also spoke about how missing the AFCON tournament in Ivory Coast due to injury, of course, was about his most painful career moment. Right. Of course, we recall how even though he came, he had to go back due to injury, and he was a really huge loss because we know how important he would have been to the team, given how excellent a player he is. Yeah, so we really missed him. If you watched his game in Bayern Leverkusen, you would discover that he's such an interesting player. He has good hold of the ball. I mean, he can dribble, he can score goals, very calm, cool, and calculated goals. That's really one thing I love about him as a striker. Of course, he also spoke about the fact that he's not really in a hurry to leave Bayern Leverkusen. Of course, we know about how clubs like Napoli, even West Ham, have expressed interest in the Nigerian striker, but he said that of course he's happy at the club and he's not willing to really leave in a hurry, except of course the club is willing to let him go. His side actually extended the unbeaten run to 46 games across all competitions this season, after their last minute goal against Stuttgart. That was on Saturday. So they've made it a total of 46 games now, unbeaten across all competitions, and many fans are beginning to think that the club is doing some form of juju. So Victor Boniface actually shared a certain picture on his X, a picture of veteran Nollywood actor, and then it raised many questions. Many people were commenting on the comment section and saying it appears your club is using juju, so why do you always have to score in the last minute of the game? So I think more than 2 matches now they've had to come back, and then it ended in the draw. I think we saw it against West Ham and against Dortmund as well, and then now against Stuttgart. So many people are really questioning that this whole impressive run. Does it mean that no club will be able to win them till the season ends? I think they have about 3 games left in the German Bundesliga. Or they already won the title, of course, but I know they are looking to really win remaining 3 games, and of course in other competitions that they are really featuring in. Yeah, so as usual, I would want you to share your thoughts on the comment section. Who do you see winning the title this season? Clearly, it has become a race between Arsenal and Man City. Arsenal being on 80 points after 35 games, and then Man City on 79 points after 34 games. So who do you see winning the title this time? Do you think Man City would make it 3 titles consecutively, or do you think Arsenal would win after years of waiting? Yeah, so just share your thoughts on the comment section. Also talk about the fact that NFF is taking eternity to appoint a new coach for the Super Eagles. Share your thoughts. And also you can talk about how impressive Bayern Leverkusen has been all through the season. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye.